Hello everyone, welcome to another bootfair haul vid. Not a huge amount of Transformers in this one, so there are a couple, but I did pick up a few more sort of little retro bits. First bit I picked up is actually not for me, and it's on the hopes that it might be something I can add into a trade I'll do with Black Rabbit. And I know he likes his Batmobiles, and I found a nice little Hot Wheels Batmobile from like the old TV series. It's not from that time, it is the more modern era. Don't know if it's got a date on it, no. But it is a Hot Wheels one, so it's not the original sort of Dinky or Matchbox, what would have been out at the time, or Corgi. But it's in nice nick, and I thought he does like his Batmobile, so that's there for you, Black Rabbit, if you want it. The next bits I picked up are actually Action Force. Now, again, I have mentioned in the past I do like a little bit of Action Force. If I see bits, I will pick up odd ones because, again, that was that sort of bridging period between Star Wars finishing, Transformers sort of kicking in. And I actually found a rather nice, although it's into the stage when Transformers was going, the Action Force coming into being G.I. Joe sort of era annual from '86. It's in pretty good nick. There is a mark there, Cobra Commander's leg. There's one tiny rip in one page, and it's a little bit sort of, the pages have gone a little bit sort of browny, but there are still some good bits in it and some nice bright coloured parts which are fine. It's even got who it was dedicated to, which was to Darren from his Auntie Carol, in the front. But the weird thing was she gave it to him for Christmas but didn't cut out the price. Never mind. But yeah, lovely annual, and the reason I got a ticket in there marking the page is, ironically, the other week when I picked up an Action Force figure, I actually picked up this guy, if I can get that right, Deep Six, which I dug him back out so I could show you. How weird's that? So not only do I find the figure, a couple of weeks later I find an annual with pictures of him in. So really chuffed about that. I'm going to have a good old read through that. I did used to enjoy reading the Action Force sort of comics and stuff. So yeah, that'd be great fun. Now, it weren't the only Action Force. Now, this is a weird coincidence because I hardly ever see anything to do with Action Force out there because, of course, being up there from the G1 Star Wars vintage sort of time, you don't tend to find a great deal of stuff from that era because unless people are having a clear out of a loft, you know, that stuff's long gone or it's in collections already. And I actually found 4 very nice figures. Now, none of which I've got, and again that's sort of like made me chuffed, you know, to find that. Missing all, well, nearly all their accessories, but I found the SAS pilot figure. I think he came with a parachute and a sort of gun and maybe a little sort of ammo box or something like that, but you know, I can pick up odd bits. But I did used to like the SAS series of figures, so again, that's great, and it's one I haven't got. I also liked Z-Force, and I've actually found a different version from one I've got from when I was a kid. Now, it's a Z-Force radio operator, and he's still got his radio operator's backpack with the little headphones. Let that focus for you. But he's the guy without the cap. Now, I think the other one I've got has got a green cap on the top. So, lovely to find a different version of him. And again, I think he's only really just about missing possibly his gun, so other than that, in nice condition. So again, chuffed to find that. And now the last 2, really chuffed to find. Now, I did at one point have some of these, and whether I swapped for different figures when I was a kid, I don't know, at school, you know. It's what happens sometimes and then you regret it afterwards. But I actually found a Red Shadow figure with the red hands, because they do a different version, red and black, on like his gloves. In pretty good nick. He's got a little bit of wear on the paint and shoulders and that, which is, they're all prone to do that. but this was like the army builder stormtrooper, effectively, of the original Action Force line, and they were, I don't know if they were supposed to be mutated soldiers. I almost thought they were like robots at first with the sort of visor, but I think they're more sort of almost like zombie forces under General Ironblood's command. So yeah, chuffed to find that, and I think I found they don't go that cheap. When I've seen them for sale, that they tend to go for about a tenner each, so it's a really good find. And anyway, I'm chuffed to find it just for the sake of the fact I haven't got one. And the next one, seriously chuffed about. Don't think it's necessarily something that's massively expensive, but I never got round to getting this guy, and I always remember seeing it on the packets that you could send off. Mail away only, as far as I'm aware. Skeletron, I think it's called. Again, it's one of the bad guys, obviously some kind of zombie army sort of forces creature that they've come up with to fight Action Force. In really nice condition. The only thing that I think he's missing is a little blue sticker which goes on the front of his chest. Other than that, he's unscuffed. He's got the odd little dirty mark because I haven't had a chance to clean him up yet. But other than that, fantastic condition, and I don't believe he came with any accessories, so there's nothing actually missing. And when you consider how spindly some of these bits of plastic are on his legs and that, no damage whatsoever. So chuffed to bits with that. Really glad to pick that up. And all four of those figures I got for 50p. Not each, together. So yeah, absolutely chuffed with that. Now getting on to the more transformery bits. Now the first two bits I got, I'm not sure whether or not to keep them, because I don't again want to start a huge collection of offshoots of things, but I did quite like them and they're in good nick. And I got two RPMs, which are the Transformer Hot Wheel cars. Basically they don't do anything other than just go along as cars. And of course I've got Ironhide with some of these sort of robotic parts showing. Nothing much other than vehicle sort of like detailing underneath. And the second one, which is more the one which I sort of got attracted to because of his nice Decepticon logo, is Soundwave. But on this particular line they did the robot figure image underneath, and being that I'm a big fan of Soundwave, I thought yeah, well I'll pick that one up. Again, real bargain and in nice condition. Anyway, now getting to the Transformers. Well, one isn't a Transformer, but it is and it isn't. It's a GoBot. And I found one. Now I have no idea what his name is because I don't remember the GoBots so well. He transforms, if that's the right word for a GoBot, into an F-14 jet. Now, other than his canopy being missing on the front, which is a little bit of a shame, he's not bad. He's actually got more posability than most G1s, so because he's actually got separate leg articulation, which even the Seekers, considering they were bigger, they hadn't actually got back in those days. And he's got a little bit of die cast metal in him, which again is nice. But yeah, don't have a clue what his name is, but he's from 1985, so he's the sort of G1 period of GoBots. Face reminds me of Distro actually, from Action Force, if that's not going on a slight offshoot back to Action Force again. But yeah, really nice little figure and worth picking up for pennies anyway. The next one is a Minicon. I think it's from the collectible series what you could get in the blind bags. So again, I've actually got this, so if Black Rabbit, if this is one sort of like you need and you'd like, again that can go in with a trade as well. And it's not a bad little sort of bot mode, and one of the better ones actually for the Minicons, and transforms into quite a nice sort of like American car mode. So again, if Black Rabbit wants that, that can go in with a trade as well. And the last one is the bigger of the Transformers I got, which, well, the biggest of the Transformers, seeing as I didn't get many this week. Yeah, I'm not sure what his name is. I think it's Ice Pick. It's from the Human Alliance line, and it's a white Decepticon version of a Skidoo, when it transforms. Didn't have the little man with him, which is a little bit of a shame. But it was all there at least anyway, so other than some weapons what fit on anyway. But again, not overly worried about that as such, but the figure itself is in good nick and nice and white and unscratched, so I thought I'd pick him up. Now combined, all of those bits came to a grand total of £2, which again, I consider that a real bargain. But that's not the end of the story, because as I finished up in Canterbury, which was where I was at the last boot fair I was going to, I had been told by a certain onlynorris that B&M toys, no B&M, sorry, B&M, don't know what you class it as, B&M is the initials of the shop, bargains, I think it's B&M bargains, sort of like a discount shop. They got their toy section and he'd said it's worth a look in there because he'd picked up some bits himself in there, so I thought I'll have a look in the shop, see what's there. And up the boys toys aisle, looking at Transformers, had a, I was going to say Skyquake then, and I said that before, there's a mistake. It was a is it Dreadwind or Dreadwing? Dreadwind, Dreadwing, I think it is, from the Prime line. As I was looking at it and thinking, shall I get it or not, because it's on half price and I haven't really seen him anywhere else for sale. Lo and behold, I looked round and there is Matt, onlynorris, standing there. Oh, John. We then proceeded to have a bit of a chinwag in the shop, and then proceeded to go to the checkouts and buy a figure each, and then proceeded to sit in the van for about an hour having a chat. So it was a bit weird bumping into somebody when completely off the cuff, when you've only known them from the internet, but not bad, I must sort of hasten to say. We've exchanged phone numbers and stuff so that we can meet up and that. There's a sci-fi thing going on down Herne Bay in, I think it's next month, that we are sort of going to meet up and sort of be able to hang out with our partners as well, not in that way. We did say this looked a bit weird when we was at the checkouts, we were both buying a toy together, and if anyone had asked, oh that's a weird coincidence, we've gone, oh yeah, we've met on the internet, which made us both laugh. Yeah, but it was really nice to meet Matt. I would say though, Matt, that I can't show, I was going to say Skyquake again, Dreadwing, I can't show him as part of my haul, because A, really it's not part of the boot fair haul anyway, but when I got home, my other half went, I didn't think you was buying any sort of like actual Transformers from the actual shops, you know, just sort of getting them from the boot fair. And I went, well, you know, bumped into Matt, we both sort of like the figures, and I thought it's on half price, so from its retail price I'll pick it up. She went, oh well, you can have it on your birthday, I'll give you the money and you can keep it back and have it on your birthday. So I've got 5 months to wait for it now. Our partner's wonderful. Mind you, she does put up with me the rest of the time, so swings and roundabouts. And I did get a lot of Prime figures the other week, so I'll just have to make do with those. But anyway, yes, that's my whole stroke vlog for this week. I won't have one next week, so I'll have to do a review or something for you next week, as I'm going away for a long weekend because of the bank holiday. Though I did inform Matt of all the places that I would have gone this coming week for boot fairs, so he has no excuse to go out and actually get some bits, and he's got no competition from me, so he can feel free to have a good scout around, see if he can find a good haul, and if he finds something really nice, I'm going to pummel him to death. Not really, of course. Actually, I keep saying we said this on when we met on Saturday. On Sunday, sorry. We both go as we're trying to think while we're doing filming. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time for either a review or, well, it will be a review. haul vid probably in a couple of weeks, if the weather's alright by then. See you again. Thanks for watching.